Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. Happy Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi, and I lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson, and our show is brought to you by SCVi and I Lead Charter Schools. We are a network of schools with campuses across the Southland in Castaic. That's SCVi, our founding school. Agua Dulce at I Lead Agua Dulce. What a gorgeous campus they have at Agua Dulce. I was just there last week. Oh, absolutely beautiful. We've got several campuses in Lancaster. We also have a couple of virtual campuses. That's right. We've got a fully accredited kindergarten through 12th grade online school. That's I Lead Online. We also have a burgeoning homeschool program, waitlist longer than your arm, but you could still possibly get in for next year as we're continuing to add sections in our homeschool program. That is I Lead Exploration. You can check any of those school websites for more information on how to enroll, or make it easy on yourself. Just visit us at ileadschools.org, and from there you can navigate to any one of our 6 schools here in Southern California. So we've got our eye on education and in Santa Clarita across the nation. But like our show says, we keep our eye on the valley as well, bringing you everything you need to know about what's what here in the valley. And we've got a lot more of that later on in the show today. We do all this while having a good time, joking around, having fun, keeping you informed, because if it's not fun, I ain't gonna do it. So we are here every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m., having tons of fun and helping you keep your eye on the valley. So, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the new normal.
Well, thank you.
To the new normal. Hang on, Michelle, not you. We are coming in.
Welcome to everything. Sorry about that.
Hey, that's quite all right. I'm welcoming our listeners to the new normal. That's right. Welcome to the new normal, Emily. Welcome, Santa Clarita, to the new normal. As of Tuesday, we are now out of the colored tier system. Fully vaccinated people, like Patty, Emily, and me, we can go maskless in most situations, that is. And, Dodger Stadium has been packed the last couple of nights. But remember, this is not back to normal. This is back to the new normal. Kind of like that vibe, Patty. Kind of like that vibe.
I love it, Matt. Love it.
As a matter of fact, I know we've been very intentional about rebranding the show the last couple of years here at Eye on the Valley. But in light of recent events, I really think we need to rebrand again. I really think we need to rebrand and start calling the show the new normal. Somebody get producer Sarah on the line. Because like I said, we're not going back to normal. No, not going back to the way things used to be. We're going back to the new normal. While those of us who are vaccinated can lose the mask in most situations here in the new normal, we still need to mask up while we're on public transportation. That's right. If you're in an Uber, in a taxi, on the bus, on that Surfliner heading down to San Diego where it's a little bit cooler this weekend, you're going to need to mask up. Also, where my first guests are in school today, you're going to need to wear a mask in school settings, right? Also in medical settings. So if you've got a doctor's appointment today, wear that mask. If you're visiting someone at the hospital, strap that mask on. Going to the nursing home to visit Dad for Father's Day, make sure you're wearing a mask. And also, let's remember, folks, because come on, you don't want to be that guy. Let's remember, private businesses can also choose to require masks if they'd like. So, if you're heading to Trader Joe's and they ask you to wear a mask, don't freak out. Come on, don't be that guy. Don't be that Karen. The person that you're talking to didn't make the policy. They're just doing their job. So please just find your mellow and remember that this is the new normal. Really liking that, Patty. Those of you who are watching us on Facebook Live have noticed that I'm no longer wearing my mask that I've been wearing for the past 15 months now. And there's 2 reasons for that. Well, that's because, like I said, we've moved into, say it with me,
The new normal.
And second, well, because Patty finally got his second shot. He's fully vaccinated now. And remember, I got vaccinated to keep me safe. He got vaccinated to keep him safe. We wear our masks to keep you safe, unless you're vaccinated. So Patty's just about 5 or 6 feet away from me now, on the other side of the console, but now he's had that second Fauci ouchie, and we are good to go because this is
The new normal.
And today on The New Normal, we've got some great guests. We start the show with two of the facilitators from SCVi's middle school team. We've got Alex Calthrone and Michelle Geyer. They'll be here in just a minute. As a matter of fact, if you were listening closely, you may have heard they're already here. And later on in the show, we'll be speaking with Zoraida Martinez. Zoraida is the senior librarian with the Santa Clarita Library, and she'll be sharing with us some of the summer programming at our local libraries. So we'll talk about what they have in store for your kids this summer. And then, we're going to end the show like we always do, with a little fun and what Father Mulcahy would call jocularity. How many of you remember Father Mulcahy? Michelle Geyer's on the line. I know she remembers Father Mulcahy. But we're going to end with some jocularity and Big T's 5 minutes of fame. So let's go ahead and get to it. As I said, my first guest today work as part of the middle school team at SCVi. Alex Calthrone is completing her 3rd year of teaching today. It's a big day for them today. She holds an undergraduate degree in biology and a master's degree in education. Alex is passionate about hands-on learning and getting her learners engaged in science and engineering practices. She's all about that STEAM. And Michelle Geyer first came to iLead Schools in 2015 when she started at our Encino campus. That's right, down south in the valley. 3 years later, Michelle transferred to SCVi, iLead's founding school here in Santa Clarita in 2018, and she is now part of the ever-popular and dynamic 8th grade team where she brings just tremendous laughter to everything that she does every single day. Alex, Michelle, welcome to the new normal.
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Matt. Thank you.
Welcome to Eye on the Valley. We appreciate you joining us today. I know it's the last day of school, and there's a whole lot of moving parts going on. I know you guys are excited. Your kids are ready to bust out of their skin. So we really appreciate you guys setting aside a couple minutes to chat with us. So first of all, let's start with this. Let's introduce you guys a little bit more closely to our audience. Why don't you start by telling us what subjects and grades you all teach at SCVi? Michelle, why don't we start with you? What subject and grade do you teach?
I teach 8th grade mathematics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
we've got some math fans out there. All right. So you teach
I make it very exciting and very engaging, I would like to say, and I would like to think.
Michelle, you make everything engaging. You could make a plain bagel seem fun and exciting. So, Alex, so you teach, Michelle, you teach 8th grade math. And Alex, you're on a different team, although you're still part of the middle school team, right?
Yes, correct. I teach 6th grade science. Our middle school goes 6th through 8th.
Okay, very cool. So 6th grade science, what content is that there? Are you guys dissecting frogs yet in 6th grade?
Oh, I wish that we were dissecting frogs. That would make my heart so happy. The kids really want to do explosions in chemistry, and I was like, we actually cover biology, and if things in biology exploded, that would be very worrisome. So
Alrighty,
we're covering a lot of life science content in 6th grade.
Okay, well, maybe every now and then you can explain what an extreme appendicitis might do, right? And maybe we can get some minor explosions that have some major consequences. Now, I'm always interested in people's journeys. So why don't we talk about what led you all to, first of all, to teaching? How did you end up getting into teaching? And then once you decided on that path, what brought you to SCVi, Alex?
So growing up, my mom was a principal at a private school near our home in Simi Valley, and I went there with her my whole life, pretty much summer camps. If I was sick, I was on her couch in her office, like not staying home. So I kind of grew up in a school, so it just kind of was a natural thing for me to want to go into working with kids. I grew up as a camp counselor and then a lifeguard, and then I finally got into the classroom as a TA in a kindergarten class, and I was like, this is pretty cool. So I went to college, decided that science was also a passion of mine, and got my undergrad in biology, and then was like, do I want to go into the medical field? Do I want to start teaching. And I had talked to my mom, who also works for iLead California, and she was like, "Hey, like check out this school. I think you'd like it. It's really hands-on. Like just test the waters." And so I went and I met with Nazi Kaufman at Encino actually, and she was telling me all about it. I went for a tour around the school, and I just was like, "This is if I'm going to teach, this is where I'm going to teach because it's just super hands-on, and the kids seem to really own their learning and really want to be there." And so I applied, and they offered me a position for sixth grade science at SCVi after I met with Nazi, and I was like, yeah, sign me up, let's go. And so I just finished my credentialing program, third year in, and I'm looking to keep going.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, by the way. So yeah, you're kind of balancing. Do I want to go into the science field? Should I go into the family business of education? And then you find out that you can do both, and here you are. What about you, Michelle? How did you get into teaching, and then how did you find us at iLead?
It was a little longer journey for me. I started off in junior college thinking that I was going to be a veterinarian.
Oh.
And so I took a few classes, and then I realized after taking this one professor at the junior college that teaching math was definitely an exciting idea. I was a assistant in the math department there, where I started a tutor list. I started private tutoring, and 10 years later, I got my degree, my bachelor's in mathematics and my master's in education, and haven't looked back. I've taught all grade levels from fifth grade all the way through adults. I've actually taught teachers for UCLA. Super exciting. I just love all aspects of teaching math. And I love that discovery. I love the big ahas. And so, but my journey was definitely a little longer. And I just didn't decide on it quite from the beginning. So it was an exciting discovery.
That's fine. Those long journeys can be extremely rich and rewarding in themselves. And how awesome that you developed that passion for teaching math. That's a passion that's not as common nowadays here in the United States. We all seem to have this math phobia. So I love that you bring the passion, like I said in your intro, the laughter and the fun into your math classroom at such a critical age too. Now, I referred to you guys earlier as facilitators, and it's funny, whenever I talk to folks who don't understand our organization and I use the word facilitators, they kind of give me the side eye and they say, wait a minute, you guys don't have teachers, you have facilitators. Does that mean that they're not credentialed? That's not what it means at all. As you guys heard, both Alex and Michelle and the rest of our team at our schools are very highly qualified. But we call you guys facilitators for a reason, right? We're intentional about that. Can one of you explain a little bit about why it is that you're facilitators and not teachers, and what that means practically on the day-to-day in your classroom?
Alex, you want to take?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'll pipe up. So essentially kind of what sold me was that we're not this sage on the stage. We're not lecturing every day. We're not standing up there and just talking at the students. We're creating more of a hands-on learning experience. We're trying to facilitate their learning. We're not just talking at them and saying, let me put this funnel in your brain and let me shove all this information in there, and this is all the stuff you have to remember. We really want to try to create an experience where they're discovering new things and they're being curious and they're testing their hypotheses and all of these things, where we can really do some hands-on stuff and get them to get into that critical thinking stage as opposed to just listening and regurgitating information, right? A lot of people can memorize stuff, but when you really want to get that deep learning, you're creating an environment in your classroom where they can explore and they can make mistakes and they can learn from those mistakes. And it's really more of a hands-on learning experience. And it's not just me talking at the students or me saying, here, read this book and do this worksheet. It's let's have a talk about it. Let's watch this video. What do you guys think? Where does this lead us? It's not so much, hardcore me talk, you listen style. It's definitely more of a hands-on experience where we can allow the students to really get a deep dive into each subject that they're learning about. And then the cross-curricular aspect as well, which is awesome. We get to actually work with teams, grade level teams. I have an awesome team this year. And so we partner up and we create these really hands-on projects that are looking into the real world and how can we solve this problem using the information that we've learned in class.
Alex, you mentioned a couple of phrases that really helped kind of reframe it. I've been doing this for 10 years now, and it helped reframe it in my mind. You said we're not the sage on the stage, right? We're not the ones in the spotlight, but we set the stage. Using that metaphor of stage production, we put the kids in the spotlight. They're the ones on the stage. We're more the stage hands that just set the scene for learning. They're the ones that take control. They're the star of their learning, as to where in a traditional model the star is that teacher, the one that knows everything. Now, Michelle, it takes a special person to teach middle school, right? Because I remember I taught middle school for about 6, 7 years, and people used to go, "Whew, middle school, boy, you're a glutton for punishment." But it does. It takes someone special to teach middle school, and then the middle school at SCVi is kind of a special place as well. So, Michelle, can you share a little bit with our audience about the unique experience of what middle school is at SCVi?
Well, yes, of course. Number one, it's definitely a smaller school, and so we get to know our students very well. I know most of the sixth graders and the seventh graders, as well as the eighth graders, and I don't teach sixth or seventh. As far as the community is concerned of the school, the learners are just kinder to each other. They're just more accepting of each other. The social emotional learning that we do in our advisories, where we definitely dive deep into, topics that are relevant to them, like, school bullying or racism or other topics that we dive into. We really look at the whole child rather than just the academics. And I really do appreciate that about this school, because I've been at many schools. Mm-hmm. This is, and this place is very unique when it comes to that. I must say, I really do enjoy the fact that our learners are allowed to be unique. They're allowed to be different without that fear of being ostracized. So yeah, I love our middle school experience here at SCVi. It is one of the best.
You hit the nail on the head. That was the first thing that I noticed when I showed up at SCVi, is that the kids weren't afraid to be themselves. And that is so crucial in middle school, when kids are trying to figure who they are, figure out who they are. They're trying to wrestle with their identity and who am I becoming? Who do I want to be? And so it's so important that we leave that space for them. So that really does make SCVi unique. One thing that certainly wasn't unique this past year was some of the challenges that you all had to face in dealing with the pandemic, right? That's something that schools across the world had to try to figure out. But how did you guys and your learners adapt to the whole quarantine, distance learning, hybrid, now you're here, now you're not kind of thing? How did that go this last year as you guys are cruising into the summer break and reflecting now on this past pandemic year?
I had the wildest ride as far as going into the pandemic and quarantine goes. Last year, we were actually on our Catalina trip, and we had no service, so we had no idea what was happening at the school. Like, we were all having a great time. We were snorkeling. We were doing science experiments. We were looking at plankton and microscopes, and like, we're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and we finally get service, and there's like hundreds of emails, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? What's going on at school? Like, we had half of the sixth grade here, half of the sixth grade back with Miss L in the classroom. Like, what is going on? And we realized we had to go to distance learning, and
wow, what a transition.
It was totally a trip. Like, it was chaotic, and we were like, okay, how do we do this? But the thing that really pulled us through was the middle school collaboration. Like, seventh and eighth grade facilitators helped my teaching partner in sixth grade come up with a schedule, because I wasn't there to help. And we really collaborate and we work together, even if we're not in that grade level. Like Ms. Gary said, I know a lot of the eighth and seventh graders. I did teach them before, but it really shows the collaboration and the skills that we have to be able to come together and just, think on the fly, and the fact that iLead uses technology so heavily. We are, really invested in good educational tech. We have a digital classroom already. We already were using online submissions for work and Google Classroom and Google Docs and things in our assignment. So the kids were already so familiar with this digital style of learning that it really led to a really smooth transition for them. And they were already very much advanced in using these digital tools.
Well, that's great to hear that the transition was that smooth. You guys were way ahead of the curve. You talk about collaboration. I know it's not only something that you guys do as professional teams, but you also, gosh, it's such an important skill, and you're teaching your middle schoolers that through project-based learning. I want to talk about project-based learning itself and some of the projects you guys developed. We do need to take a quick break. And Michelle, I also know that you're up against it and you've got to take off. So we appreciate your time. Alex, you'll be here when we get back, I understand. So when we come back, like I said, we'll be talking project-based learning and some of the projects that the middle school team has developed over this last year. We have now entered the new normal. And
wait, I want to say it, Matt.
You want to say it? Okay, hang on.
We
Michelle.
have now entered.
Okay, go for it.
Can I say it? We have now entered the new normal.
The new normal.
Right. I am Matt Watson
Hi,
with
guys.
Michelle Geyer and Alex Calthrone. This is SCVi, and I lead Schools Eye in the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
98.1 FM and AM 1220. I'm Dana Lash. Join me as we tackle the issues of the day and talk about all the people in government that we don't like. The fun begins at 9 on your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS.
Join Dana every Monday to Thursday from 9 till noon and Fridays from noon to 3 on Santa Clarita's hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS.
This is my town. This is my town.
This is my town.
This is our town. Hey, Santa Clarita, this is our town, and we're protecting our home and environment by recycling bottles and cans. It makes a difference here and here.
Take your bottles and cans to a redemption center or toss them in your recycling bin. Visit greensantaclarita.com for more information. This message is from Cal Recycling, the city of Santa Clarita.
KHTS strives to give the Santa Clarita Valley all the information they need. And when our computers aren't working the way they should, we call Resurgence, your true source for IT. Resurgence provides outstanding customer service while also providing the highest technical ability. They strive to do what's best to improve and protect your business. For more information on Resurgence, call 349-4114 or visit resurgenceit.com.
Get ready to discover a creative new way to have fun. Painting with a twist. We'll show you step by step how to make fun art, not fine art. It's painting, it's dancing, it's a party. Painting with a twist. It's a little bit of paint, a little bit of wine, and a whole lot of fun. Visit paintingwithatwist.com to find the studio nearest you.
Now located in the patios at Valencia Westfield Mall. Google Painting with a Twist Santa Clarita for a new kind of fun.
You already know Salt Creek Grill has the best food in our valley. Well, now you can have Salt Creek's gourmet meals catered to your event.
I'm Greg Amsler, owner of Salt Creek Grill. I'd like to introduce you to a new level of catering, featuring our catering director, Tamara Levine.
Salt Creek Grill creates memorable experiences, which leaves our clients and guests with a sense of awe and excitement. From menu development to picturesque presentation, you'll enjoy culinary excellence and creative catering.
Salt Creek Grill, a new level of catering.
Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting Toyota lineup. Serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
Denny & Company, LLP, helps small to medium-sized businesses with their tax and accounting needs. With over 55 years of public accounting experience among them, Denny & Company's partners are familiar with a large number of business types, tax situations, and business consulting needs ranging from individuals, families, trusts and estates, corporations, partnerships, and limited liability companies in many different industries and professions. The partners and staff of Denny & Company, LLP are always friendly, helpful, responsive, and are experienced in representing individuals and businesses like yours with all kinds of government agencies, banks, attorneys, and more. They are your hometown CPA firm. Why go all the way to Century City or Encino to pay top dollar for the same level of services you can get right here in Santa Clarita? Denny and Company LLP, CPAs that make life less taxing. Call 286-8860. Call 286-8860.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead Schools, Eye on the Valley. Alex Calthrone is joining me this morning. We thank her colleague Michelle Geyer. Her 8th graders are coming in a little bit early today because they're getting ready for the 8th grade promotion, sending those kids on to high school. It's the last day of school at SCVi for them, so we're gonna give Michelle a hall pass on this one and continue forward with Alex. Alex teaches 6th grade science at SCVi. So, Alex, we talked about it a little bit before the break. You guys aren't teachers, but you teach. You're facilitators. So you facilitate. You guys do that through project-based learning. And I've heard a lot of schools talk about project-based learning, but I've got to be honest, outside of SCVi and iLead and a few other schools in other cities, I haven't really seen as big of a push for project-based learning as I've seen at SCVi. So can you tell us a little bit about project-based learning? What makes it different? What makes it a stronger method than from maybe what some of the other schools might use?
So yeah, like you, I really had no experience with project-based learning before I interviewed with iLead, and it was really just mind-blowing. You know, like I was like, once I learned about it, I was like, how is not every school doing this? Like, it's just so much more meaningful, I think, is really the biggest takeaway for me, is that it makes the learning meaningful. And it's not only regurgitating information saying, you know, this is what you said, so I'm saying it back to you. It's, this is what I've learned. Now let me apply that knowledge to a real world problem, or maybe to something that's happening in my life or that's happening in my community. And so it really brings the education full circle, right? It's not just the information you're getting in each class. It's finding the ties between your science class and your math and your English and history skills, and using all of that knowledge to create some type of presentation of learning that's answering a question or solving a problem. And so I really, really enjoy PBL as an educator. I think that it really puts the learner in the driver's seat, right? It's making them accountable and in charge of their own learning, and then being able to apply and show their learning in a way that's meaningful to them. And that's really where you're going to see the most growth, right? You're going to see them take that knowledge and it's going to stick with them. It's not just going to be, oh yeah, that's what I learned in 6th grade science. I'm not sure that I remember that, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we did this crazy project on, you know, human impacts on the planet, and now I'm only using a reusable water bottle if that's the smallest change they can make, right? It's just being able to apply it to their life and use it every day. It's not just information that's going to go in one ear and out the other.
You're absolutely right. It doesn't build the temporary knowledge that it's funny. We've seen cartoons in the newspaper for decades now about how that information comes in, we take the test, and then the information goes right back out of our brain so that we can fill it up with more useless information next year. But you're building experiences that your learners hang on to. Can you talk for a minute about some of those experiences? What are some of the projects that you and maybe some of the other folks in the middle school have rolled out with their kids over the last year or so?
So I can talk first about 6th grade. We just actually wrapped up a year-long project that was, you know, built into really small pieces along the way. In 6th grade history, we learn about ancient civilizations, and in science, we learn about genetics and human impacts on the planet and ways that natural systems work. And then in math, we're doing area, perimeter, geometry. And so what we did was we said, let's create our own civilization based on the things that we've learned throughout the year. And so all of these kids in our class, they created their own unique civilization. We had a civilization that was ruled by cats, and that, you know, they've genetically modified their human into a cat humanoid species. Nice. And they worship cats like they did in ancient Egypt. And so these kids were taking all this stuff that they learned and they were creating something that was their own, that was unique to them. And we had them create like a government and laws. And, some people, if you stole, you got your hands chopped off. It was like an eye for an eye, very old school. And then some people were like, no, let's rehabilitate them. Let's, create a system where they can get better and they can have chances. And so it was really cool to see every learner's interpretation of what they learned and how much hard work and, passion they put into it. And then they got to walk through and talk to all their peers about what their civilization was all about and compare, oh, that was a great idea. I didn't think of that. And they created flags and monuments. There's a monument to pizza, which was one of my favorite civilizations. I absolutely love pizza. And so he was like, I love pizza, and all the toppings on my pizza represent unity in the community and how they all come together and create one awesome thing. And I was like, see, like, who knew that you could make pizza deep based on the stuff you learned in 6th grade? So that one was super awesome. I know in 7th grade, they've done a similar project, but they've done more based on science and creating resources based on natural disasters and how their ecosystems might change and how, people need to have different resources in different areas of the planet. In the desert, your resources are going to look a lot different than in the rainforest. And so we also have some legacy projects in 8th grade, like the aeronautics project. That is super cool. They learn about physics and drag and aerodynamics, and they get to actually fly a glider, which is just so epic. They have like a digital flight simulator during that project. And so it really is awesome because they get to, like you said, build experiences through their learning. It's not just, let me tell you about wind speed and drag. It's let's get you prepared so that you can actually be in a glider and experience that, because they're never going to forget that experience. And so the middle school, we, like we said before, we collaborate a lot. And so all of these projects the kids know about in like 6th and 7th grade, they're like, I can't wait to get to 8th grade. Like, we got to like build this knowledge, so I'm ready for that. So it's really cool to see that the middle school in itself is pretty unified. And then the kids just look forward to all of those projects to be able to experience their learning that way.
So exciting hearing middle schoolers and their facilitators getting excited about teaching and learning. It's just a great thing to hear, because oftentimes, we hear about some of the other side of things going on in middle school. Really appreciate your time. Want to ask you one more quick question before you go. Alex, it's been a rough 15 months for teachers everywhere, but you're done today, going on summer vacation. What are your plans for the summer, Alex?
I am going to relax, and I'm not joining one Zoom. If someone wants to see me, they can call me. I was like, I am done with Zoom for the summer. It's a super awesome tool, and I don't take anything away from that. Like, it's amazing what it's done for education and technology and all of that. But if I don't have to Zoom over the summer, I will be a happy camper.
Alex, you and I are going to need to work on a parody of Alice Cooper's song, Zooms Out for the Summer. Right?
Yes, and hopefully next year Zoom's out forever.
There we go. Yes, we are halfway there. Alex, I know you've got that last day of school that's just about to start, so we appreciate you coming in this morning. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great summer.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Have a great day, you guys.
Absolutely. Gosh, so excited to hear Alex talk about the projects going on at SCVi. And it's not exclusive to middle school. Some of the projects they're doing in the high school are just absolutely amazing. One of the things that I know they really missed this year and last year, SCVi, the seniors, connect with the seniors. They actually go over to, I think it's a nursing home or the senior center, and they connect with senior citizens, that is our 12th graders, and they do this whole mentorship where on a regular basis, our 12th graders sit down with senior citizens and talk about lessons learned from their lives, and they really do connect. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience as our 12th graders are looking to head off into their future. And then all the way down to kindergarten. One of the state standards I remember that kindergartners have to learn is the different regions of California, the different landforms, right? The mountains, the beach, the Central Valley. They learn about the land around us and how people use it, how you dress there, what the weather patterns are, what different activities go on there. So that's a kindergarten standard. One of the projects that the kindergarten team rolled out a few years back, their driving question was, we're going, what are you packing? Right? And like a good driving question, it leads you to more questions. So the kids were assigned different regions that they were going to, and they had to decide what to pack in their suitcase for that region. Now, obviously, they're going to need to know the climate. They're going to need to know about what people do there. They're going to need to know all the different things that state standard says that they have to learn. And it was so cute. Our kindergartners presented everything they learned about the different landforms and regions in California by presenting their suitcase. And so on the day of the presentation, because remember, learning isn't permanent until learning is public, so they presented to a public audience, their parents, other learners, different people in the community. Each of them had their suitcase there with the different things packed inside for wherever they were going. I'm going to the San Joaquin Valley, and so I'm bringing my work boots, and I'm bringing a shovel because we're going there. We're going to be doing some agricultural work. It was just so adorable, and as you can imagine, the learning was just so deep, so rich. And so I've got to be honest, as someone who's done it, as a teacher, as an educator, it's hard work. And you know, Alex alluded to it. I don't know why other schools don't use this technique. Well, first of all, it's newer, right? And we can always be a little bit reticent to try something new. But it's hard work. It is hard work for the teacher to set all that up, and then the kids start taking it different directions, and now you're managing a bunch of different assignments instead of the same assignment for every kid. But the reward is just so high, right? As you can imagine, the kids get such a deep and, like Alex said, personal experience out of each of the projects that they develop, and that's learning that just goes on forever. So speaking of which, we're going to be looking at this day in history and some of the learning that we've taken and some of the learning that we've forgotten from our past coming up. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be talking this day in history. You're listening to SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
When you think about your next place, maybe even your forever place, are you hearing more of this and less of this? Introducing 5 Point Valencia, a vibrant new community coming to the Santa Clarita Valley. A place with parks, trails, and fresh architecture, all tuned to the way people want to live today. New homes for all, with prices to match, from the low 400,000s to over $1 million. Learn more at valencia.com.
Hi, I'm Miles McNamara, Certified Senior Advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. Our caregivers help you in your own home. A Comfort Keeper can provide companionship, meal preparation, medication monitoring, assistance with personal care, transportation to doctor appointments, all enhancing your independence and safety in the comfort and privacy of your own home. So if you or someone you love could use a helping hand at home, call Comfort Keepers at 287-4200. That's 287-4200.
Donahoe, Young & Williams is your award-winning go-to law firm for all real estate matters, including the changing legal landscape due to COVID-19. In addition, Donahoe, Young & Williams can help you create an estate plan that accomplishes your wishes, protects you and your family, and avoids time-consuming and expensive California probate. If you've been financially devastated by the pandemic, Donahoe, Young & Williams can help with debt negotiation and, when needed, bankruptcy under Chapters 7, 11, and 13. Visit Taylor Williams at dywlaw.com.
Call the guys in orange trucks. That's Pacific Gear. On time, great care. When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
I love it when my grandson sings our jingle.
Me too. And every word in there is true.
Mark Schneider and daughter Kaylee for Pacific Air.
Our jingle is fun to sing, but the words are also Pacific Air's promise to our customers.
This summer, when you call our guys in the orange truck, we pledge to be on time, to take great care with your service, repair, or installation.
And ask our customers. They'll tell you. When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
Get our WOW AC tune-up for just $77.
And we promise you'll get service so good, you'll say,
wow!
Call the guys in the orange truck. That's Pacific Air. On time, great care. When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
Get Pacific Air's WOW AC tune-up for just $77. Go to pacair.com, Pacaire. Remember, without the E, it's just air.
This is Jerry Strati Goldman, owner here at KHTS Radio. I've been using Plumbing by Kirk for years, both personally and here at the station. From small issues like toilets running and clogged sinks to much bigger issues, Kirk Stinson has always been here for me. There's no one I trust more with my plumbing problems than Kirk and his team. Quick, reliable, and very reasonable prices. Call now for estimates on new drain installations, old drain replacements, and water heaters. 263-6519 or log on to plumbingbykirk.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley, where we are leading you into... the new normal.
The new normal.
Yeah, I
were you going to try and play the music?
I was, but then I forgot my Facebook volume is up again.
I heard that.
Let's try that. Let's see if we can do a better job of leading them into the new normal. That's right, we're heading into a new normal. But let's look back on older times. Let's look back. Let's take a look at this day in history, shall we? We've got some great events that have happened in the past before the new normal. On June 18th. This is actually a good one for women. We've got a great one for women in history today. Let's take a look. There's lots of heroines in this episode of This Day in History. On June 18th, 1429, French forces under, you guessed it, the leadership of Joan of Arc, defeated the main English army under Sir John Fastolf at the Battle of Patay. Joan's victory completely turned the tide of the 100 Years' War for the French. That was June 18th, 1429. On June 18th, 1812, the War of 1812 begins as the U.S. declares war against Britain. The British had gotten a little frustrated with their uppity colonies insisting on independence all the time, and they had become a nuisance, and the United States, they decided to push back on Big Brother, and war was declared. It was an interesting war. Not a whole lot strategically came of it, but a lot of stuff in Americana, a lot of American history came out of some of the events that took place in the War of 1812. Most notably, Francis Scott Key, while negotiating a prisoner exchange aboard a British ship, was actually forced to stay there and witness the attack on Baltimore, which inspired him to pen the Star-Spangled Banner. That's right. During the War of 1812. Dolly Madison, First Lady Dolly Madison, solidified herself as a national hero as the British troops advanced from Baltimore onto Washington, D.C., where they burned the White House. Well, Dolly Madison was able to secure the rescue of several national treasures from the White House before it was overrun by the British, including that original oil painting portrait of George Washington. During the war, the U.S. unsuccessfully attempted to invade Canada 3 separate times. We were looking to expand toward the north, push the British out of North America altogether, but we were unsuccessful. Had we been successful in invading Canada, I think not only would we have been free from the Canadian taunts of free healthcare and a sexy prime minister, but we also would not have had to endure the Canadian invasion, also known as the Mississippi Mudflap, the Alabama Waterfall, the Camaro Crash Helmet, the Tennessee Top Hat. You know it. You know it as the mullet. That's right. So, better luck next time, guys. And also, during the War of 1812 was the Battle of New Orleans. The Battle of New Orleans was fought as the last major battle in the war, a battle in which American forces that were severely outnumbered, but Andrew Jackson's forces defeated the British overwhelmingly, with 700 British soldiers killed, 1,400 wounded, and only 8 U.S. soldiers killed with 13 wounded. It made an absolute national hero out of Andrew Jackson, culminating in his enshrinement on the $20 bill. Ironically, the battle was fought over a month after the Treaty of Ghent was signed, ending the war. So, all in vain anyways, but it was immortalized in Johnny Horton's 1960 Grammy-winning song, So Come On! In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we caught the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. Come on, Patty. We fired our guns, the British kept it coming.
I don't know this song.
You don't know this song?
No.
You're not a Johnny Horton fan. Okay.
Who's
Alrighty.
Johnny Horton? Is that like
Oh boy.
Horton Hears a Who?
I guess I'm just really dating myself with my references this morning with Johnny Horton and MASH and Father Mulcahy. Well, let's go ahead and move on. On to June 18th, 1815. Just a couple years later, the Battle of Waterloo was fought, where Napoleon and France were defeated by British forces under Wellington and Prussian troops under Blucher. Now, there have been legends spoken about Napoleon's inspirational reply to the British call to surrender, but these are merely legend. His actual response when called on to surrender, the FCC won't allow me to repeat on the air. Although it was in French. Patty, are we allowed to cuss in French on the air?
You know, I actually don't know.
Yeah, zut alors. That's not what he said. He said something a little bit worse. Anyways, on June 18th, 1873, Susan B. Anthony was fined $100 for attempting to vote in the 1872 presidential election. How dare she? On June 18th, 1900, the Empress Dowager Cixi of China orders all foreigners killed, including foreign diplomats and their families. Excuse me, Empress, but that's not going to be good on tourism. And on June 18th, 1928, American aviator Amelia Earhart becomes the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, landing at Bury Point, Wales. Very cool. Let's see. June 18th, 1940, Winston Churchill's famous "This Was Our Finest Hour" speech to the British House of Commons. June 18th, 1983, the first American woman to fly in outer space, Sally Ride, was launched on Space Shuttle Challenger. June 18th, 2018, the Space Force was created by President Donald Trump. So that is this edition of This Day in History, June 18th edition. And for those of you federal workers waking up this morning, pour yourself that extra cup of coffee, because just yesterday, today was declared a national holiday. It is Juneteenth. It is going to be celebrated June 19th, but since that's tomorrow, Saturday, we're observing today. So federal workers, enjoy that day off. When we come back, we'll be talking library science with Zoraida Martinez. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
Our trash has got to go somewhere, and Chiquita Canyon Landfill is helping make the Santa Clarita Valley a little greener. Our local landfill creates clean energy from our waste disposal to power 10,000 homes each year. With their 9.2 megawatt clean energy facility harnessing the landfill's methane gas, you can feel good that the waste from your home in the SCV is helping create a clean energy source. Chiquita Canyon Landfill is our partner in sustainable living.
Chiquita Canyon is helping lead the way to a greener future.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Mend Cryotherapy is open. They have amazing specials, including the $99 Performance Package, which includes a cryo session, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, which boosts recovery of damaged cells, the aromatherapy oxygen bar, Nucom, and infrared sauna. There's also a beauty package with a cryofacial, infrared sauna, and more. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to MEND, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
Traffic brought to you by Frontier Toyota. Frontier Toyota reminds you to drive safely. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom on Valencia and Creekside. See their all-new, hot and exciting 2021 Toyota Camry. Frontier Toyota, the Camry Kings.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
Commemorating a new holiday, I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Many Americans are observing Juneteenth, just a day after President Biden signed a bill into law creating the new federal holiday.
This is the first federal holiday since the creation of Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 1983. Juneteenth marks the day slaves in Texas learned they were free 2 months after the Confederacy surrendered. President Biden says it's a day to learn from our history.
Celebrate progress and grapple with the distance we've come. But the distance we have to travel, Jim.
As June 19th falls on a Saturday, the official observance is today. Hundreds of companies are observing the holiday, but because of short notice, others are not. The Postal Service is delivering mail as usual.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says she expects the Delta variant will become the dominant coronavirus strain in the U.S. She encouraged Americans to get vaccinated, saying it will provide protection against the Delta variant. Authorities in Arizona have a person in custody after a string of drive-by shootings that left one person dead and at least a dozen others wounded.
At least 4 people were shot, and the other injuries came from car accidents and shrapnel from broken glass. Peoria police say they got the call around 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and Sergeant Brandon Shefford says they're still looking for a motive.
We don't have an idea of what this person was thinking when he went out and did this. Obviously, we want to figure that out because there's a lot of scared people.
Those who were injured are expected to recover.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. A tropical system is expected to bring heavy rain, storm surge, and coastal flooding to the northern Gulf Coast through the weekend. A tropical storm warning is in effect for parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards issuing a state of emergency due to the potential weather threats. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text BELT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BELT to 42424. That's BELT to 42424.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has ordered his government to be fully prepared for confrontation with the U.S. Talks with the U.S. aimed at dismantling North Korea's nuclear program have been stalled for more than 2 years. Kim has previously said the U.S. must withdraw what it calls a hostile policy toward North Korea if it wants those talks to resume. An entire Portland police task force resigns after charges were filed against a fellow officer.
All 50 Portland officers that make up the department's rapid response team say they've had enough. They voted unanimously to resign from their voluntary positions on the team in response to the recent indictment of one of their own. Corey Budworth was indicted by a grand jury for allegedly assaulting a photographer with his baton at a riot last August. The Portland Police Association responded saying in part, quote, "Unfortunately, this decorated public servant has been caught in the crossfire of agenda-driven city leaders and a politicized criminal justice system."
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. It's getting more expensive to rent a home or apartment.
Because so many people were choosing to buy homes instead of rent, rental prices dipped a bit during the pandemic in many cities. But Realtor.com says they're going up now. As of May, the median national price for monthly rent was about $1,500. That's up 5.5% compared to a year ago. The website says increasing vaccination rates may be boosting people's confidence in the safety of moving, and that's driving up demand and prices. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Customers and employees of several Carnival Corporation cruise lines might have had personal information stolen. The Miami-based company says a data breach in March may have exposed things like social security numbers and dates of birth for some customers, employees, and ship crew members on Carnival Cruise Line, Holland America Line, and Princess Cruises. The breach comes after Carnival was hit twice last year by ransomware attacks. I'm Rich Dennison, and this is Fox News.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
The Dow Jones Industrials are on track for the worst week since January. Concerns about the Federal Reserve raising interest rates within 2 weeks are being stepped up now that St. Louis Fed President James Bullard said it's likely the first increase will come before the end of next year, though Bullard is not a voting member of the Fed. The volatility is exaggerated because options and futures are expiring today and investors are changing up their portfolios. Oil prices are higher after Reuters reported U.S. production is expected to remain limited for now despite rising demand. Credit Suisse has ended its long-time relationship with investment firm SoftBank Group following the collapse of financial firm Greensill Capital, which was funded by SoftBank. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Only T-Mobile for Business uses unconventional thinking to help businesses realize new possibilities, like our WFX solutions, enabled by our nationwide 5G network that help teams stay connected and productive where work happens. We also provide an award-winning customer experience and first-class benefits with every plan. Get unmatched network support and value without any trade-offs at T-Mobile.com/unconventional. Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or feature. See T-Mobile.com.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260 CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
Are you looking for educational flexibility and choice? Look no further than your front door. iLead Exploration's independent study program is passionate about personalized learning. Our mission is to inspire learners to become creative problem solvers, compassionate leaders, conscientious collaborators, and responsible citizens who develop a lifelong love of learning. Our families partner with a credentialed teacher to customize each child's educational path. Families access community partners to choose a variety of in-person, online, and at-home options to create an optimal learning environment for each learner. Our program also values community, and through a variety of field studies, service projects, park days, and family gatherings, we provide many opportunities to foster friendships. Because there are currently in-person limitations due to COVID, we are offering activities online through webinars and virtual field trips. iLead Exploration is a tuition-free, independent study charter school program serving grades TK through 12 in Los Angeles, Orange, Kern, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties. To learn more about our program, visit iLeadExploration.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Very warm today. We have an excessive heat warning in effect. Highs this week in the 90s to well into the triple digits. Overnight lows in the 60s. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, your host, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. My next guest is a senior librarian with the Santa Clarita Public Library. Bilingual in English and Spanish, Zoraida Martinez received her BA in Spanish Language and Literature and Chicano Studies from UC Riverside and her master's in Management, Library, and Information Science from USC. The consummate leader, however, she was active on both campuses, and her activism and advocacy led to a position as a community organizer in Denver, Colorado, before settling into her true passion among the stacks. Zoraida held several library positions in Durango, Colorado, before returning to beautiful Southern California in 2019 when she joined the Santa Clarita Public Library and quickly became senior librarian. Zoraida, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you so much for having me, Matt.
We're so glad you could join us. We really appreciate it. We know that you we're very accommodating today, and you moved some things around on your schedule to be here, so we really appreciate it. So first off, I like my listeners and myself as well to get to know our guests a little bit. So tell us a little bit about your journey. I know you went to school here in SoCal. Were you born here as well?
Yes, I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles, so super close to USC area. I was there till I turned 18 and moved to Riverside to go to undergrad, and I was at UC Riverside for a couple of years before I got my bachelor's, and then got really into environmental services and the environment and, protecting the environment. I was raised like that by my dad, visiting national parks and going on road trips to different states. So my dad's a big road tripper, and he just instilled the love of the environment on us. And I was looking for something along the lines of community organizing, and that's what brought me to Durango. I was actually in Durango, Colorado, which is southwest in Colorado.
Right. So I was looking at it. I had to look it up on the map. Durango is actually right there near the border of New Mexico, real close to Navajo Nation, as a matter of fact. Beautiful area of the country. So what was that time like? It's a beautiful place there in that southwest corner of Colorado. What was that like for you?
Oh, it was, going that way, like, when my husband and I moved, he was then my boyfriend. I just asked him if he wanted to, take on this adventure with me, and he was all, let's go for it. And we picked up our stuff and moved out to Colorado. And moving out there, it was hard because both our families are here in California, and it was really difficult to move really far away from them. But it was the best experience ever. It honestly, made us super independent. It brought us so many professional possibilities. For him, he got, into the nonprofit section. He worked at schools, and I was at the nonprofit section as well. And then I moved to a school where, the love of libraries grew even more. But the area is so amazing. I didn't know what allergies felt like until I moved to Colorado. So that was something new to me. But, we get all seasons there. It's, I saw the changing colors. I got snow. I learned how to ski, and I love mountain biking. So that was an amazing plus. So it was really nice to live there for a couple of years.
Wow, very exciting. And gosh, what a terrific test of a boyfriend's love. Hey, buddy, I'm moving out of state. Do you love me enough to come with me? And the answer was yes. There we go. Awesome.
Yes.
Alrighty, so you talk.
He is so supportive.
Oh, terrific. And gosh, that's an easy place to follow someone to, not taking anything away from you, of course.
Yeah, no, of course.
You mentioned your passion for library science. How did that first come on? What attracted you to library science and a career in the library in the first place?
Ever since I was little, I always felt comfortable being in a library. I don't think I went to public libraries as much, but when I was in school, I would go to libraries and spend my recess and my lunch in the libraries. And it was really nice to be able to sit somewhere and just take on a life of 1,000 different things. I never was in just one life. It just felt like I was always reading a new book and experiencing something new. And honestly, my love for books came when I started reading Harry Potter. I just could not put that book down. And you could catch me reading the book at 1 in the morning. And my parents would get upset at me saying that, I would strain my eyes or it was not going to be good for my eyes. They didn't complain about me reading too much, but they complained about me not hurting my eyes or something like that. But you could catch me reading a book at family parties. I always had a book under the table, and they were always like, "Why don't you want to dance? Why don't you want to, go out and play with your cousins?" And I'm like, "Because I'm reading my book." So it was always really nice to just, read a book and get lost in it. And it just kind of got lost on me when I moved on to college. Was I, trying to do all the classes, be all the social life and everything. But, moving to Colorado, I picked up a job that I thought was more technology related because that's the job I had when I was in undergrad. And it just turned out to be more library oriented than I thought it would be. But I absolutely loved it. The connections that I made with the kids, with the parents, with the staff, it was not like anything else I had ever experienced in any job. And I absolutely loved it. And a year into that job, I was like, you know what? I love this as a career, so why not get a master's in it? And my boyfriend, who's now my husband, was totally supportive and said, go for it. I support you. So he was with me through the whole process.
Wow, what a great guy. We're quickly falling in love with your husband too. So those books have just been calling out to you since the time you were a little girl. That is amazing. And so now you're back here in Southern California. We're blessed to have you here in Santa Clarita in our public library. You are, as I said, the senior librarian. So as the senior librarian, what is your job? Do you work out of a specific branch? Do you go to the different branches of the public libraries here in Santa Clarita? What are your responsibilities?
So I'm a senior librarian for the teen and the adult department. So I help manage the teen and the adult departments as well as the social media team. So I help manage all of those teams. I just try to make sure that if they need anything, I'm there to support them. I help them out with the programs, making sure that librarians and library assistants' visions of programs come to life. So I just help them with that final step of helping purchase, getting contracts through with the city of Santa Clarita, and just making sure everything goes through the proper channels. I do also have responsibilities of putting on big programs. So we have the Family Literacy Festival coming up in December. We just had Dia de los Niños, which my coworker, who's the senior librarian for the children's department, put on together a whole week of fun activities for the kids. We have the summer reading program that's going on right now, and that's something that the senior librarians also help put together, as well as the One Story, One City program. So I help put on a lot of the big programs. And I'm based out of Newhall Library, but I go to all the branches. So I love that at these libraries, at this branch, we're not limited to just staying in one single location. We can travel to the other libraries and help out with programs and make sure that, we can collaborate and talk with our coworkers at the other branches, so we're not just limited to our one branch.
Yeah, and it allows you guys to really build a really rich team. You guys have so much experience and creativity and passion on your team. So, what is the current state of the library? We've been talking this morning about how we're kind of not kind of. We are fully opening up now, and we're now embracing what we're calling the new normal. But so you guys are you guys fully open? Are all of your services available now? Because we spoke with Shannon Vonnegut. We also spoke with Lisa Purdy throughout the course of the pandemic, where you guys were really adjusting to having your doors closed. Are you guys now fully back online?
Yeah, we're fully back open. All of our branches are open Monday through Sunday, so every single day of the week. We are open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So we're back to our pre-pandemic hours. Our services are slowly but surely getting back there. There's still some things that are not still fully there, like programming in person inside the library. We're still doing some programs outside, but it's great because the weather permits us to have beautiful programs at the parks, throughout the city. We have programs on our patios. We have, so many things happening that it's still sort of limiting, but we still get to do so many of the things that we used to do. And, being out with the public, with the kids, with teens, doing programs has been really great. And getting back to seeing people in person has been the most rewarding thing in this past year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And you're right about the weather. They don't call us Awesome Town for nothing.
They don't.
I know that the Santa Clarita Library was quite active, and that's what Shannon and Lisa were talking about when we had them on a few months back, how active you guys were virtually during the shutdown. I mean, your doors were closed, but you guys were expanding services. Now that you're opening back up, is there anything that you all started during the pandemic that you're continuing forward with as we head out of the pandemic and into that, the new normal?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we have a couple of services that we are thinking of continuing forward. The virtual programs for some of the ages or some of the things that we were doing have continued to be super successful. So we definitely want to continue some virtual programming, and I think we're going to do like a hybrid model where we try to do in-person / online programming, which is great because there were people that joined us from other states and even other countries.
Oh, wow.
And, watching our videos and sending us messages and saying, I'm visiting your website from Florida, or I'm visiting from Guatemala or El Salvador, Mexico. So people are visiting us from like all over the world on virtual programs that we never would have done if it wasn't for the pandemic. So there's those plus on the COVID. I think I try to see on the positive side, like we expanded our services and we're reaching more people than we were before. So we are definitely keeping some of those virtual programs going. The kits that we were doing, the grab and go kits, I don't think we will continue them as much as we are right now.
Okay.
But we will have some aspect of grab and go kits in the future as well. So if you're listening, stay tuned.
Definitely. And speaking of which, what a perfect time for a plug. How do folks stay tuned? Can they find you on social media? Your website? What would be the best way for people to stay tuned to what you guys have got going on?
Yeah, so our website has a range of information in it. So if people visit SantaClaritaLibrary.com, they can find our programs, they can find our resources, they can also find us on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and even YouTube. Throughout the pandemic, we made so many videos. So if anyone's listening, go subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We're always putting craft kits. We had stories and flannels and songs and so many things that came out of the pandemic that we have made our YouTube channel so much more robust. So if you just go to Santa Clarita Library and look for Santa Clarita Library on YouTube, you'll be able to find us on Facebook, Santa Clarita Public Library, Instagram, SCVi Public Library. Just if you can find the links through our website too. So if you go to our website, you can always find our links. But yeah, we would love for people to follow us and learn the programs that we're doing. We're always posting different things and upcoming programs, just a whole lot of things going on in our social media that people can find out that they don't normally do if they're not like following us or if they're not coming into the libraries. So yeah, definitely follow us.
Yeah, and like you said, you guys are easy to find on social media, and that website we've dropped into our Facebook live feed at SantaClaritaLibrary.com. Very easy to find. And as you said, you guys did a beautiful job adapting and expanding during the pandemic, so much so finding content that you're moving forward as we come out, being able to, you mentioned you're bringing in folks from other states, other countries. I think that's just a testament, Zoraida, to the amazing service that you all developed. And then another aspect of the pandemic was really interesting, is that performers everywhere, and let's face it, you and I are educators, we're performers. Performers everywhere struggled when they faced the question, how do we perform without our audience, right? I mean, early on, I remember watching one of my favorite groups, Dropkick Murphys, perform live in an empty Fenway Park in Boston. Once we got sports back, pro athletes talked about how surreal it was to play without crowds, and teachers everywhere. Spoke with a couple of teachers last break because again, we're performers too. Teachers struggled with the virtual thing, especially when kids wouldn't turn on their screens. As a librarian, you're constantly performing as well. You're an educator, you're a performer, and you're used to doing things with kids where you've got 20, 30 kids in a room where you guys are singing and dancing, and all of a sudden you guys went virtual where you didn't have that audience. Was that something difficult for you guys to get used to, singing and dancing without having the kids there to kind of vibe off of?
Yes, of course. That was so hard. We were talking to the screens, and we would sometimes see ourselves on the screens just moving and doing things, and to us it felt silly because we usually do it to the kids, and the kids mimic what you're doing. Sure. And it just felt so weird because it kind of felt to me like Dora the Explorer, where you're like asking a question to like the audience, and you're just like waiting for a response, and you're just like blinking your eyes, and no one's responding, and then you just like assume and hope that they like got the answer right, and then you just move forward. So it was it was very interesting at first to do that. I guess with time we all got used to it, and we were like, it is what it is, and we hope that they're doing it. And, eventually we got our programs on Zoom where, people had to sign an online meeting waiver, and we were able to see them if they wanted to turn on their camera. So it was so much better to be able to see them like through a screen, but see the kids moving and jumping and, mimicking whatever we were doing on the screen with us as well.
Yeah, and you get back to that sense of, I'm not being silly, I'm leading an activity here.
Yes.
Zoraida, I want to talk to you about what you guys have got going on this summer as well. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, you can share all the exciting things that you guys are preparing now that we're heading back into that new normal, and we're able to get kids back into the library with you guys. We'll hear all about those different programs that you guys are designing as we head into that new normal here on SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Join the Canyon Theater Guild for in-person workshops for children up to 17 years old this summer. Kids become their favorite fairy tale characters in Character Matters, Return of the Fairy Tale Advice Council. Juniors take to the high seas in Dave the Brave and the Pirateers, facing crocodiles, sirens, and the notorious pirate Lady Legs. Be our guest with the stars and Disney's Beauty and the Beast Jr. Call 661-799-2702 or visit canyontheater.org.
No contract pest control. Did you hear that? Yes, Unipest has no contract, low impact, affordable, and environmentally and family friendly pest control options with orange oil or other family friendly products. Whether it's ants, spiders, gophers, termites, or bed bugs, Unipest Termite and Pest Control has an effective, eco-friendly option for you. Call Unipest today for a free orange oil inspection at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley, and I am your host, Matt Watson. We are talking this morning with Zoraida Martinez. She is the senior librarian at the Santa Clarita Public Libraries. So, Zoraida, the local libraries have always been fantastic about summer programming when our kids are out of school. What can you tell us about what's happening at the Santa Clarita Libraries for this summer?
Oh, so much. We have a lot of things happening at the public libraries as well as the parks. We partnered up with the parks this year, and we have programs at the parks. So we encourage everyone to go to scvsummerreading.com and sign up for our summer reading program. It runs from June 1st to July 25th, and you sign up to read books and complete some missions, and you get entered to win weekly prizes. So we do raffles for books, and we partnered up with our local shops. So we have gift cards for local shops here too. So mom and pop shops, we have, a wide range of like restaurants and bookstores and comic book store. So we have a whole range of gift cards that people can win this year and then be entered to win our grand prize at the end of summer reading. So we have programs in person for kids, teens, and adults, and they can sign up through our website. And we also have programs at the park. Like I said, there's kids programs at different parks. So if people go to our website, they can sign up for our programs. We have programs every Thursdays at the parks for children, but we're also adding dates because of the demand of having so many programs. They're completely full, and we are adding even more dates because we just want to accommodate everyone that wants to come to the parks and join us for all these programs. So we will be adding more programming. We have team programming in person. We're doing game day at 2 o'clock at all of the libraries, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We have crafting programs for teens and adults. We have a whole lot of things happening. We have story times on Mondays via Zoom. We have a virtual escape room that people can do online. And we partnered up with the Community Arts Partnership Program to Cal Arts for teens to be able to sign up for a creative writing class or a visual arts class. And that starts next week. So if people haven't signed up, I'm sure they can still sign up for their teens. And it's all online as well. Like I said, we do have in-person components to all of ages. So if they want to sign up, they can just go to our website and sign up for the programs. But it is really great to be able to have people back in person and be able to talk to people. So it's been really great to, open up our doors as summer was starting for us to be able to start our summer reading program and kick that off for, keeping kids engaged and coming into libraries, as well as have people come in because of these hot days. The Santa Clarita Public Libraries were designated as cooling centers, so we love seeing people in our libraries.
So I did want to ask about that, but I wanted to double check with you. I love hearing that you guys have programs for people of all ages and not just littles. You've got something for teenagers, for adults. Also super excited to hear that the demand is so high. You guys have had to expand your offerings. You said, did I hear you wrong? The website was summerreading.com? Producer Sarah and I are having trouble with that website.
It's SCVi, so Santa Clarita Valley. Summerreading.com.
Boom, there it is, and it comes right up. We forgot the SCV. SCVsummerreading.com. There we go. We'll drop that in the Facebook Live feed as well. One more time, SCVsummerreading.com. That'll take you right to the webpage there. I'm glad I clarified. Again, SCVsummerreading.com.
Yes, of course.
So you mentioned that, and I read this in the news recently. Boy, has it been hot this week, and you guys have been designated a designated cooling station or a cooling zone. So what does that mean? Does that just mean that the air's on and people can come in and grab a book and cool off, or do you guys have misters outside on the patio? What's going on?
They can come inside to all of our branches, and we have the AC running all the time, and we have space now and seats for people to be able to sit at. That wasn't a complete option as of last week because we had to have the spacing and limited capacity and all those things. But as far as this week, we've been able to have more people in the branches. We've been able to have more seating available. You don't have to have a book and read. You can come in and just be on your phone and be on your computers, or sit at one of our computers that we have and use it and sit there. It's just been really hot outside, and I've seen people take complete advantage of it and come in and sit down and read, catch up on news or whatever it is. But it's been really nice to have people inside and know that there's a space for them to be able to come in and be cool.
Absolutely. So head over to the Santa Clarita Public Library and chill out. Did you see what I did there? So don't laugh at that. Don't laugh at that. That's not funny.
It was really good.
Oh, I'm a dad and I am king of the dad jokes. Yeah, Patty's not appreciating it either. So one of the things that I know that families found so helpful during the pandemic, when they had, let's just say, less access to their teachers, was the online tutoring and homework help. Is that something that you guys are continuing with? Do you still have live tutors on the library website that kids can access?
Yes, that's always been a database that not a lot of people know of, and we would love for more people to know of it. So if you go to our website, SantaClaritaLibrary.com, you can go to our e-library and then go to articles and databases. And from there, you'll be able to see the back to school resources, and you can click on that, or just scroll down and find the tab that says homework, and you'll be able to go to our website and go to Brain Fuse Help Now. And that's the one where people can just enter the library card number, and they'll be able to get help in person for a range of subjects. So it's not even just like math or English. You can get homework for chemistry, like you can get help for calculus or history. So there's live tutors that help you from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day and during the school year. And it's a great resource because people don't really know about it, and the kids can get help, and you can also get help in Spanish. So that's something not a lot of people know. So you can also get help in Spanish and other languages, I'm sure, and it's really great for us to see that the numbers have gone up in people using that service.
That is good, and we've got to continue to get that word out. So excited that you guys have so much programming, Spanish language programming for our Spanish-speaking friends. That is awesome, because not only do we have a rich population of folks that need the support in Spanish and the activities in Spanish, but we've also got a rapidly growing bilingual community here in Santa Clarita, where it's not that kids can't access the English language programming, but they want to continue to develop their Spanish language literacy, like you did in college. So let's make sure that folks know that they have access to those live tutors. And like you said, we're not talking about a help desk where someone might be available to help you wrestle through your math. We're talking about experts in calculus or foreign language or all these different subjects that can help you or your kids with whatever they're working on. So you mentioned the e-library. What other kind of services are available on the e-library?
So we have a Tumble Book Library, which is a great resource for little kids to be able to, have animated talking picture books that they can read along with. It's really fun for kids to look at those. We also have a lot of resources for adults, and not a lot of adults know it. There's like an antiques and history database that you can look at. There's an auto repair database where you can try to learn how to repair your own car. There's business and legal database. There's a career database. There's genealogy and biography. There's health and medicine. There's like a hobbies one. So there's a whole lot of databases that not a lot of people know. We also have a learn a language database, which is I'm trying to remember, Pronunciator. Pronunciator, you can learn over 80 languages, and people don't really know about that one. And you can learn at your own pace, download the app on your phone, enter your library card number, and start learning. And it's really great, to have those databases available for everyone.
Absolutely. You guys have so many resources. I don't know that we would have enough time to list them all here on the radio. I would just encourage our listeners, just like a lot of us when we're unsure of something or when we need a little more information, we would go to YouTube or Google. Why don't you try starting with the Santa Clarita Library website? There's just a tremendous amount of resources there. I can see producer Sarah's freaking out that she can learn how to fix her car at the library. But I know there's some people out there sort of thinking, yeah, but, because I hear you saying that, everything needs our library card number. What if I don't have a library card number? What do I have to come in? Can I do that online?
You would have to come in person and, just provide us with an ID, some sort of identification that has, just your address, and that's just for our own purposes. We never give out any information to any person, so your information's safe at the library. Perfect. You can just come in, and we just need a phone number and an email so you can sign up and your address, and you can come in and get a library card. They're completely free, and not a lot of people use them. So if you lose your card, you can always come in and we can give you another one. We can also if you have fines, a lot of people think that you can't come back to the library. No, please come in to libraries. If you have a fine, like, we will work with you. We just want you to come use the libraries. So come and see us in person. And if need be, you can always email us for any questions or comments or concerns to libraryinfo@santa-clarita.com.
Fantastic. One more time, library info
@santa-clarita.com.
That dash is going to be important there. Fantastic.
Yes, the dash is important.
You've got so many resources, and it is so convenient. You said we do have to come in if we don't already have our library card or our library card number. But then other than that, you have tremendous resources available online. Don't even have to get off the couch if you're a couch potato like me, and you can check out books online. You can stream the movies that they have online. There's all different kinds of things. And then also go on into the library, stay cool, and enjoy some of the events that they have there. And as a quick reminder, Zoraida, can you just remind folks where we have branches? I know you guys are strategically and conveniently placed around town, but where are the different library branches here in Santa Clarita?
Yeah, so we have a branch at Valencia, and that one's located on the corner of Valencia and Magic Mountain. It's right next to the current sheriff's station. We have the Old Town New Hall Library, which is located on the corner of Lyons and Railroad, and it's right across the Limbley and down this Main Street. So if you go by, you'll see a beautiful 2-story building.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And we have our third one at Canyon Country, which is located off Soledad Canyon and almost off Sierra Highway. So it's next to Everest Burgers. There's a Domino's. There's a little shopping center there.
Yeah.
So it's located in that shopping center. So all of our 3 branches are completely open now.
Fantastic. That is just great news to hear. Zoraida Martinez, Senior Librarian at the Santa Clarita Public Library. We're so grateful for your time today. Like I said, I know you had to skip an important meeting to be here, but thank you so much, Zoraida. You have a wonderful weekend and a great summer.
Thanks, you too, Matt.
And you guys hang on, because we're going to be right back with Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Going to be goofing around and playing trivia. You can play along with us. This is SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm your host, Matt Watson, and we'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases to fit over any pillow and extra deep pockets to fit over any mattress. Not only that, they come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KHTS or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
No words can describe the power of belonging to a group of close friends or being part of a family. Insight Treatment Center was founded more than 20 years ago to give teenagers a community of friends and family as they overcome issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma. The new Santa Clarita location is a COVID-secure environment where distance and good airflow are a priority. As a leader in providing intensive outpatient treatment to teenagers, Insight Treatment Center in Santa Clarita is here to help. Call 888-295-9995 or go online to insighttreatment.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and I am joined now by the lovely producer, Sarah. Sarah, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
So, hey, I wanted to run something past you today. What do you think? I mentioned it earlier in the show. What do you think about rebranding the show to The New Normal?
God. Well, not if you're going to have that weird delay, man.
Okay, but what do you think about the sound effects?
It's like a creepy uncle.
Speaking of creepy uncles.
Very mellow, which is interesting to me because it's like the antithesis of your personality or most of our guests.
Right? I'm not very new and I'm not very age. But speaking of creepy uncles, we are now also joined by Big T. You know Big T. He's not only a creepy uncle, he's a longtime resident and leader in the Santa Clarita Valley. He's an executive and philanthropist. He's a great dad. As a matter of fact, he is king of the dad joke and rockin' a dad bod. He is mom's favorite. Big T, welcome back to the show.
Thank you much.
Alrighty, so we've got producer Sarah's in. Let's see, we had a switch behind the soundboard. Patty, are you playing? Did you push Emily out of the seat?
Oh, I am playing.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay, so it's the three of us. We've got, let's see, got to change my scoreboard here. Those of you that are playing along at home, remember, you don't need to buzz in. You get that advantage, that competitive advantage. You just shout out the answer. But Patty, Sarah, remember, your name is your buzzer, and then wait to be acknowledged before you answer. All right, Big T, what have you got for us today?
You know, I might as well kick it off with a dad joke, Matt. I mean, did you hear about the penguin that was falsely arrested? Then he was denied bail. I mean, it makes no sense. He's not even a flight risk.
Oh.
We got some trivia.
I hate it. I will reuse it.
All right. How long is an Olympic swimming pool in meters?
Frogger. 50.
50 is correct. Bam. What countries made up the original Axis powers in World War II?
Frogger. That would be Germany, Italy, and Japan.
That is correct.
Yeah.
True or false?
Patty.
Patty.
This is true.
True. Xenophobia is the fear of dogs.
All right. No. Now give us the question again.
Yeah.
Xenophobia is the fear of dogs. That is true.
Oh, okay. So when we go with those true or false, okay, you know Patty's going to buzz in early and he's going to give his answer. And then you're going to tell him that he's correct or incorrect. You have to wait for his response before because he's going to either celebrate or lament. And then you can roll with the question, Tony.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Patty's stepping on me a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. What punctuation mark ends an imperative sentence?
Patty. Exclamation?
That's half correct.
Oh, we're going to give it to him. It's an exclamation point.
Well, it's
an exclamation point or a period, but exclamation point, we'll give it to him.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was meaning. I'm sorry, didn't exclamation point. It's the same thing.
Who named the Pacific Ocean?
Frogger.
I
believe it was Amerigo Vespucci.
Incorrect.
Patty? Was it Ponce de Leon?
Incorrect.
He was
Anybody
Florida.
else? Producer Sarah?
No idea.
Was it Vasco da Gama?
Initials FM.
Ferdinand Magellan?
Oh, Magellan.
Magellan.
Yeah.
What's the name of the largest technology company in South Korea?
Frogger. Cisco.
Correct. Look at the back of your phone. One of you.
Patty. Apple.
Apple is incorrect, Patty.
What?
Frogger.
What?
Producer Sarah, you got to buzz in. Okay, now look at the back of Tony's phone.
or Sarah's phone, I'm guessing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I said one of you. Go ahead.
Who's going at?
It's you. I already buzzed in.
Go in, Sarah.
Oh, okay, so it's Samsung.
Samsung is correct.
Nice. Apple.
Which Matt makes fun of me all the
said
time
look in the
for
back of the
having instead
phone.
An iPhone.
Back of my phone is an Apple logo.
Right, but he wasn't talking to you apparently.
Which animal can be seen on the Porsche logo?
Patty.
Sarah.
It's a lion.
Incorrect, Patty.
It's a horse.
A horse is correct.
Patty takes the
who
lead.
was the first woman? Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize in 1903? Frogger.
That would be Marie Curie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Who was the first woman pilot to fly solo
Patty.
across the Atlantic Ocean?
Patty.
Or across the Atlantic. Patty, go ahead.
Amelia Earhart.
That is correct.
We celebrated her today. Do you know what date she did it on, Tony? You don't need to know the year.
No.
She did it on June 18th. June 18th.
Gotcha. What's the rarest M&M color?
Frogger.
Patty.
Frogger than Patty.
Red.
Incorrect. Patty.
Green.
Incorrect.
Sarah. Tan, the light brown tan ones.
We'll give you that. Brown is correct.
That works.
Which pro athlete's positive COVID test was
Frogger.
the worst? John Rahm or Chris Paul?
Oh, Frogger. That one's easy.
Frogger.
John Rahm.
Correct. You want to explain, Frogger?
My man was... He was 3 or 4 strokes in the lead of a championship event. $1.5 million already in his pocket, and he got yanked off the links. And let's forget, golf is not a contact sport. He wasn't going to infect anybody out there. His caddy could have stayed 6 feet away.
Correct.
Anyways.
Dad joke alert. Joke alert. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school?
Frogger,
It's
yes.
Okay. It's okay. You finally woke up.
But
That used to happen in your class, right, Matt?
Oh, ouch.
All right. Some dad-related trivia. Who's considered the father of modern science?
Frogger. Sir Isaac Newton?
Patty.
Incorrect. Patty?
This would be Stephen Hawking.
Incorrect.
Oh, no.
Sarah, you got
I know
anything?
who it is.
I'm going to guess Einstein.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Oh! Who is it? Emily, do you got one?
Galileo.
Oh.
Galileo.
Galileo. Figaro.
No, not Figaro. Galileo.
I'm doing the Queen thing.
Who's considered the father of basketball?
Frogger.
Naismith. Naismith is correct. Who's considered the godfather of skateboarding?
Patty.
And then
Patty.
Frogger.
Tony Hawk.
Correct.
Nice.
Who was Simba's dad in The Lion
Patty. Patty. Okay.
Patty, then Frogger.
Mufasa, played by James Earl Jones.
Patty, say it again.
Mufasa, played by James Earl Jones.
You missed that, Patty. Who was Nemo's
You know what my
dad
favorite line
in
from that
Nemo?
movie was?
Long live the king.
Simba, I am your father.
You didn't say that.
Right. who was Nemo's dad in
Frogger.
Finding Nemo?
Frogger. Marlin.
Marlin is correct.
What an ironic name for a clownfish.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Who was Geppetto, or who was Pinocchio's one?
Frogger.
Oh, I messed it up. Go ahead.
Geppetto.
Yes. Oh, big tease off his game. Who was Ariel's dad? in
Patty.
Little Mermaid? Patty.
King Triton.
Big Little Mermaid fan, are you, Patty?
I'm a Disney fan, so yes.
Patty and I are locking horns today. It's 7 to 7 to 2. Come on, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Am I even there?
Who was the daddy Dalmatian in one
Patty.
Frogger. Dalmatians? Patty.
Pongo.
Pongo is correct.
Oh, Pongo boy.
Who was Elastigirl in Dash's
Patty.
dad in The Incredibles? Patty.
Elastigirl was Helen Parr was her name. If you mean the actress, I don't know who.
No.
Frogger.
Okay, Frogger.
It was his mom.
Incorrect. Sarah, do you want the whole question?
Yeah,
I think I need the whole question.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Who was Elastigirl and Dash's dad in The Incredibles?
Oh.
Okay, so do you want the character names?
I'm protesting
or,
the
like,
question.
how,
Character
okay.
name.
He's wrong on the question.
So it's
That's Mom.
Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible.
What's his official name?
I don't know. Craig T. Nelson played him though.
Bingo. That should get a point.
I'm giving Sarah a point on this because we're playing this question under protest.
All right.
Yes.
Elastigirl was his wife, not his daughter.
Exactly. Violet was the
okay.
daughter.
Incorrect. Violet. Incorrect. Oh, you're right.
Right? Yeah.
Under protest.
Don't step to Patty when it comes to cartoons.
We'll throw that one out.
No, we're giving it to Sarah.
Who was Bobby's dad in King of the Hill?
Patty.
Oh, God.
Patty.
Boy, it was Hank Hill.
He did better on that than he did on Mufasa.
Propane.
Who was Bart and Maggie's dad?
Patty.
Patty?
Homer Simpson.
That was your best. This is great. Who was Elroy and Judy's dad?
Frogger.
on the Jetsons? Frogger.
Thank you. Finally, a cartoon question I
didn't
can beat
hear
him
it.
on.
I didn't hear it enough.
It was George Jetson.
Yeah, it is.
Correct. Who was Bam Bam's dad?
Patty.
Frogger Stones?
Patty.
I heard Patty.
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
Is
go
that
ahead.
correct?
Oh, hey, Patty, it was Barney Rubble.
He even stuck his upper lip out on that one.
Who's considered the father of our country?
Frogger.
Frogger.
You can't get that one, huh, Patty? George Washington.
The book A Good Walk Spoiled is how Mark Twain is believed to have described which sport? Frogger.
Golf.
Correct.
Catching back up to
Patty,
you now
this
that
for
we've
you.
moved on
This
from
for you.
cartoons.
Yep.
Michael Jordan has worn 3 numbers over his NBA career. What are they?
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
23, 45, and
What is the third one?
0.
Incorrect. You got 2 out of the 3.
Yeah. What's the third one? Oh, no.
You want it?
Yeah. Go for it. I can't.
12.
12.
Huh.
One day they couldn't find his 23 jersey, so he had to wear number 12. Well,
bummer.
one game. In bowling, what's the name given for 3 consecutive strikes?
Frogger.
Sarah.
Frogger.
That's a turkey.
That is the turkey.
That is funny.
We're talking.
What's the name of the fictional sport played in the Harry Potter
Patty.
series?
Oh.
Patty.
Quidditch.
Quidditch is correct.
You Quidditch.
What sport do the Pittsburgh Penguins play?
Frogger.
Sarah.
Frogger.
Hockey.
Hockey is correct.
I didn't think about
Which sports movie had the tagline, "The coach is waiting for his next beer, the pitcher is waiting for her first bra,
Frogger.
the team is waiting for
Patty
Frogger."
after.
Would that be Major
sorry?
League?
Incorrect.
Oh. Is this Angels in the Outfield?
Incorrect.
All right, I need the whole line now.
All right. Which sports movie had the tagline, "The coach is waiting for his next beer, the pitcher is waiting for her first bra, the team is waiting for a miracle. Consider the possibilities."
Yeah.
Sarah, Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears is correct.
And with that one, we've got to sign off. Sarah, you gave us a respectable showing, but Patty and I just locked horns and ended up tying at 12. Big T, we have got to wrap, and that is all we have time for today. I want to thank our middle school team from SCVi Charter School, Michelle Geyer and Alex Calthrone, senior librarian at Santa Clarita Public Library, Zoraida Martinez, Big T, producer Sarah, engineer Patty, intern Emily, and thank you for listening. Stick around. Phil Nordella's coming up next. I think he's got Dallas Raines on today. You'll want to tune in. Join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson on SCVi, and I lead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.